Welcome to Good Thing, Bad Thing. I am Jabby Kway.
And I'm the ever so handsome Centel.
This is a show where two self-righteous, pompous assholes discuss what they feel like talking about for your entertainment. My good thing, you guys are gonna love this. You especially, Centel.
All right.
My good thing is the movie Drive. When Drive first came out, there was like all this talk around it. It was like the new Pulp Fiction, basically, because everyone was discussing how cool it was and how it was this movie that had never been done before. And I watched it, and I was a little bit underwhelmed. I had some issues with it. But in retrospect, looking at it, people are always clamoring for something different, something new, something that hasn't been done yet. And in all honesty, Drive, in a lot of ways, is a film that hasn't been done before, hasn't been explored in that way. I'm not the biggest fan of all the things they did. I disagree with a lot of choices he made, but maybe the choices I would have made would have been more mainstream and less different and artsy.
Well, you're right about one thing. It does something that kind of doesn't really get done a whole lot, and that is maintain its shittiness throughout. I'm not a big majority fan when it comes to Drive. Most people really, really love that movie, and I think it's more so because of the Ryan Gosling effect than anything else, and for the simple fact that he gets a chance to be cool and not understood. But that movie sucked. First of all, the title. It's called Drive, and there's very little driving in it. The main character is a wheelman who botches the very first job before the story even breaks.
That's arguable. That's arguable.
He left the guys in the car at the Staples Center.
The cops weren't going to find
Talking about, that's not my problem. He walked away. How the hell, okay, if you're going to establish yourself as a character, as somebody that's elite or good at what they do with their craft, your establishing job can't be one that you fucking failed at.
I don't think he failed.
How did he not fail? He left him to get caught by the cops.
He dropped him off at the Staples Center, and the guys got out of the car after him. The cops can't find him. The cops will find the car, but they're not going to find the guys in the car.
I'm Ryan Gosling, and I brood. And I fall in love with a chick that I just met, and I take him on dates to the fucking LA River. The LA River? Really? The LA River, where you can see freshly used condoms and new hepatitis-infested syringes floating by, and he brought their child with them as well. But the only cool thing was the elevator scene, man.
If you're not from LA and you watch that, it looks romantic.
How the fuck is the LA River romantic?
It's not romantic to us because of our associations.
It's water runoff. It's the slag and sludge from the rainwater scraping through Los Angeles and dumping at some source.
It's symbolic. It's almost like the plastic bag in American Beauty.
Get the fuck out of here. That's horseshit. Horseshit. Oh, and then don't get me started on them building this car that they're supposed to race, and we're gonna be like, oh shit, maybe it'll live up to the word Drive, and we get to see him do it, and he never even fucking gets in the car.
There were some cool fucking shots in that movie, like when he's getting away with the girl in the back seat, and you see the car flip in the background. Like, who does that shit? It's a cool fucking shot.
He has moments of directing brilliance, but the director, I can never pronounce his name right.
Nicholas Winding Refn.
Yeah, he did a movie called Valhalla Rising. All right, this was like one of the very first movies that he did that kind of like broke him out into the scene as this foreign director.
Yeah,
and it starts off awesome. The first like 15 to 20 minutes is fucking incredible. It's ass kicking. It's dope. And then all of a sudden, he's on this boat going in the middle of fucking nowhere for the next hour and a half of just being the cool, brooding Valhalla guy, which was taken over by the Ryan Gosling character, which is the same thing that happened in Only God Forgives. He did Bronson, and Bronson was okay. But even it's just like this elongated fucking rubbing off of a hard-on and how good of a director I am, and I can make some cool shots but not have any real fucking content.
Okay.
Oh, and hear about this. The scene when like the bad guy finally gets caught, and they're like at the beach, and he's running. No, don't shoot me, no.
And he runs into the
ocean. And
Gosling
is like walking slowly as he gets his gun, like Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
And instead of him like running down the beach to get away, what does he do? He runs into the ocean because he's gonna outswim Ryan Gosling.
Right.
Oh, and then let's talk about the awesome, cool little stunt hat that he had, the prosthetic head.
Yeah.
Which looked dope. It looked like the mask that was from the movie Halloween.
Right.
And you're like, oh, he's gonna do something awesome with this. He's gonna kill somebody with it. What does he do? He walks up to the window, shows his head, and stalks and looks, and he has those big doughy eyes as he's brooding in his mask.
It subverts your expectation.
Expectation? Yeah, we got some fucking expectation. I got an expectation to be entertained when I go see a movie and not have my dick tugged and not allow. Fuck Drive.
You know,
movie sucks.
The thing that bothered me about Drive more than anything was the long pauses that everyone had in the movie.
Everybody just
right.
It's the doughy eye thing.
Right.
It's like, okay, this is a Ryan Gosling movie right there. And if we were to make it into this podcast,
yeah.
Hey Anthony.
Okay, this is evolving a little bit. So let's just make this. Let's redact. Back off, dude. Let's redact it being called Drive. Let's call this Ryan Gosling movies. Good Ryan Gosling movies. How about that?
I think that might be an okay idea, Anthony.
Wait. You're making me super uncomfortable.
That's how I felt. Yes. Yeah, I'm looking at the screen and I'm like, dude, you're making me really fucking uncomfortable right now.
Well, the thing is, it'd be one thing if it was just Ryan Gosling, but everybody had that long, pregnant pause.
Long, dramatic
and I'm
pause.
like, okay, if everyone's doing this is kind of stupid. But the thing that I walked away like, this is an okay movie. I didn't hate it as much as you did. But I didn't hate it. I liked it okay. But I thought it was worth mentioning just because of how much you despise.
Because people just go off and on and on. Oh, but he had the cool jacket. So he had a cool jacket. Who gives a shit?
Right.
The movie sucked.
Right.
The fight scene was dope though. I will give it.
Which fight scene was this?
It's the one where they were like in the elevator.
That wasn't a fight scene. That actually kind of pissed me off. That was weak.
Well, it was the only thing of any type of interest.
Right. I don't know. That was kind of weak to me. It's like the dude got knocked down and bam, 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 bam. He just stopped it. That's not a fight scene.
Oh, I almost forgot.
Just crushed his skull.
I almost forgot the ending. The
ending is what bothered me.
Oh my god! So this mafia boss gangster, he's threatening him. He's like, I don't care where you go. I'm gonna find you and this, that, and the third. And
he's like three times as old as him.
Yeah, he's like an old fucking dude. And Gosling's got like the gun in his hand.
But you saw the
and
way.
I'm like, how are you gonna threaten somebody who's got a gun? And then he leaves the money.
Right. Dude, you saw the way
left the money.
Come on, you saw the way you saw the way he took out Walter White. Come on,
I can't.
That dude is dangerous.
I can't.
Dude is dangerous with that little butter knife.
I can't do it. I can't. That movie is a pariah.
Leaving the money behind was the one thing that killed me.
Why would you leave the money behind?
But
you went through all that,
right?
And you fucking moron.
I think it's an okay movie. I think it's. You know what? I was going to say this for another thing entirely, but I think bad movies are a good thing. Because people inherently love to bitch and complain about bad movies. It's a great outlet. Being able to share how bad a movie is a wonderful way to bond. Don't you think? It's like it's so easy to talk about bad movies. It's so easy to riff on them. When a movie's good, yeah, that was awesome. It's hard to keep going. It's hard to keep the conversation afloat. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you. Because when I was in school, we used to have like bad movie nights, and they were a lot of fun.
Like when you talk when X-Men Origins Wolverine came out, I went off on that movie for an hour and a half with everybody I chatted about it with. Whereas, you know, a good X-Men movie like First Class, I'm like, they got it right.
And everybody's like, yeah. And the conversation
exactly. It's over. You know what I'm saying? But one last thing I hope this doesn't like make the conversation last longer than it should be, but I hate the Notebook. It's a Ryan Gosling film. That's what really gave him his kick.
Yeah.
I really, really hate that. And I was going to save this for another discussion entirely, but you guys deserve a bonus here. The Notebook! Ding! So, this is a bad thing, but I'm kind of segueing into it. This is all fucking muddled now, but who gives a shit? This is our conversation.
That's right. It's us.
Here's my thing. Women love The Notebook.
Love it.
It's like this romance that they always go to. It's the romance that even guys love. I'm like, fuck you. That movie makes zero sense. If you look at statistically how people behaved in that time period, there is no way on God's green earth that the military guy from the military would have just reacted like when the girl told him, I've been cheating on you. He's not going to be like, oh, I'd be mad, but I just love you so darn much.
That post-traumatic stress syndrome would have hopped in real quick.
Just would never fucking happen. Would never happen. He would instantly see her as a Vietnamese and fucking shoot her in the head. Like, there's no fucking way he would ever just be cool and just be like, I love you too much. I can't be mad at you that someone else put their dick in you. Like, I can't be mad. I'm like, are you kidding me? At a time when women couldn't get jobs, at a time when women didn't really have rights, he's just gonna blow that off like she stepped on his shoe.
But that's why his character is so beloved,
and people
because
are like,
he was bigger than that.
People are like, it's so romantic. What, really? What's romantic about Ryan Gosling using this woman, this side bitch, and just tossing her to the wind when the old bitch shows up again? Are you kidding me? In real life, women, you're the side bitch, okay? You gotta take that into consideration. It's like you're looking at this from the ideal perspective of being the main character, but you're not taking into consideration having any sympathy for that side lady who just got tossed aside. That's so fucked up.
She wasn't the main character.
Like, the moral compass in that movie is completely skewed. The only good thing about that movie is the meme that came out that you posted when you're like, this is what it feels like when I try to ask a woman what she wants to eat for lunch. And he's like, what do you want? What do you want? God damn it, what do you want? Like, that's the only good thing that came out of that movie. The only good thing. I fucking hate The Notebook. And every time I come across a woman who says she likes it, I get rage angry. And I go off. I'm like, really? You like all the fucking side fucking dick? I can't even speak anymore. I'm
let
just
it out.
like,
just let it out, man. You just gotta let it out. Let out that evil.
I'm just like, I hate that fucking movie. I hate it so much. It makes me so fucking angry.
Oh, which brings me to my good thing. And it's kind of how we're both feeling. And my good thing is losing.
Oh, man.
Losing is a good thing. And we're in a culture now where nobody wants to lose, and they pad these rules so that everything has to be fair and equal. And I'm saying this more on a level of like children and kids.
Yeah, sports games, kids don't lose anymore.
Especially in sports.
There's no points.
I mean, like I've been reading some stuff where there's schools where you're not even allowed to play it. Tag, you're it.
Are you fucking kidding me?
For real. That dodgeball has been banned. Now, if you're in like any type of organized sports, everybody gets a trophy. You get the participation trophy. And the reason why this is jacked up, I know you're looking at me like, how can losing be good? Is losing builds character.
Yeah.
It builds character. It allows you to get a better look at who you are. There was a basketball team. It was a women's basketball team, and the coach allowed their team to run up the score to it was like 144 to like 6. Okay, it was 144 to 6. The coach for the team that won was fired. What? He was fired for unsportsmanlike conduct. Now get this. He took the starters out and put the second string in. It's the simple fact that his team was so just well coached that even his worst players just beat the brakes off of this other team. And the parents of the team were talking about their kids were embarrassed. It's not fair. We're promoting an environment where your kids are being bullied. They use the word bullying in reference to the coach, to the winning coach, to the losing coach. He bullied the other team. Yeah. Bullies also, to a point, are necessary. I don't agree with their tactics and what they do. Yeah. No, and I do think, but it builds character. Losing is a way of realizing what your true worth is. You have to take an ass whooping, be it physically in a fist fight, especially if you're a boy. Especially, you either have to lose in sports or lose in some type of way of protecting yourself so that you can understand and appreciate the value of what winning is. Right. Because the real world, when you step out there, is not going to give you a, well, thanks for playing prize.
Right, it's called capitalism.
The real world is a motherfucker.
Yeah.
And it's just, it infuriates me. How the fuck would you kick a coach off the team for him teaching excellence?
That's bullshit, man. But losing inspires you to come back stronger. It inspires you to go back, practice some more, do a better job, and you need to bring your A game. Why? There's nothing wrong with that at all. I hate the idea of not assigning points because then the children, like you said, the children grow up thinking that there is no losing in life. And there is a lot of losing in life. There's a lot of rejection in life. There's a lot of no in life. And men have to deal with it more than women do.
I agree.
Because it's like you just go on Tinder for 20 minutes. and you will see how much losing there is. So you keep swiping and swiping and swiping. Guess what? Not a lot of bitches are into you, right?
You got to deal with that loss.
Exactly. But it's like when you win and it feels so good and you're like, okay, I got to hold on to this one.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a trophy. You feel good about yourself.
Uh-huh.
Losing is important. I agree with you 100% on that. It teaches you a lot about who you are, how you handle that loss, because how someone behaves when things are cool and peachy is not a good test of their character.
No, it's not.
That's not how you learn about them. You learn about them when shit is hard and rough and tough, like how they are in the trenches.
Preach!
Exactly.
Preach, Anthony. Preach!
Right. I agree with you completely, man. This is a weird one. My bad thing is forced births and the birth-giving process. Forced births and the birth-giving process. Now, forced births relates a lot to rape, to women who don't want to have a child. And there's this story that came out a while ago. This Asian woman who was like in jail or something like that, and she was pregnant and she really wanted to have an abortion. She didn't want to have a baby. And the judge kept fucking her up and postponing her ability to do an abortion until the point that it was illegal to have an abortion. And this is like a very conservative kind of mentality that's in our society that is very anti-abortion because they believe that the baby inside is still alive. And it's like, you're not recognizing that baby is property of the woman's body, and it's her right to do what she wants. And you are imposing on her the philosophy that she needs to destroy her body for your morality, for your philosophy in life. You are imposing your philosophy and telling her she needs to destroy her body because she made a mistake, or because someone else decided that her body was their property and raped her. Like that really just bugs me to no end. It gets really under my skin when you are saying that lady needs to completely change the rest of her life, because now there's a responsibility that she's got for at least 18 years. Financially, physically, and her body's fucked up, and it's like she feels less attractive. Women already have a hard enough time in society where by the time they're 35, they feel old as shit, whereas men can keep fucking until they're 90. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's not fair at all. And I really disagree with the idea of telling a woman what she can do with her body. That really irks me. Now, on that, the birth-giving process, I think we need to advance our science in that field way fucking faster. Okay. Because the thing about it is, giving birth is a really traumatizing experience, and people die giving birth. Babies die, women die, and it's not just them that suffers. It's like if they die, there's the fallout of their family, of the husband or boyfriend, whoever. It's like there's a lot that goes into that when someone dies from the birth-giving process. I think that there is a way, if we put our research into it, and I'm sure a lot of religious conservatives are going to be totally against it, but there should be a way to incubate a baby from the time it's a fetus. Like if you decide I want to have a child with this person, you have made this decision, you were committed to this decision, to have that baby outside of the woman's stomach so she doesn't have to destroy her fucking body and she can maintain her youth a little bit longer.
That's an interesting concept. So, in a sense, like test tube babies that actually never leave the test tube.
Right, exactly. I think it may just be science fiction, but I think there's totally a way to do it where you don't have to basically kill the woman so she can have a child.
Okay, I'm with you on this. So my question is, isn't there something natural about the connectedness between the child and the mother that might be taken away from them if I'm just assuming this?
I think it's purely environmental. I don't think it has anything to do with coming out of the vagina. I think it's purely the nurturing effect the mother has on the child, more than the actual physical process.
Are there any like studies that talk about the psyche of like okay, even children that are biologically the offspring of two parents that are grown into a womb of another woman, because that happens too.
That happens, yeah. It's a surrogate mother.
Right. So is there I wonder if there's any like evidence of the relationship. Does the child have a stronger relationship to the natural birth mother?
No.
Or does the genetic code bring that attraction?
I don't have any statistics on that in front of me, but my gut tells me that, because I totally discounted gut earlier in another episode. My gut tells me that there is no connection because it's who you grew up with. a friend of mine who will remain nameless had a stepfather, and she always looked at that guy as her actual dad.
Okay.
Her biological father, she never spoke to because he didn't give a shit.
Right.
She doesn't have any emotional attachment to that guy
Right.
whatsoever.
Right.
And I totally get that. It makes sense because this guy is the one that's in her life as the father figure.
Okay.
I think it's very important. I think it's very crucial that kids have a mother and a father.
Right.
Sure, you can single parents that you can pull it off, but I think there's a reason why nature made it so that you have a mom and a dad.
Right.
Or even if it's a dad and a dad or a mom and a mom, what the fuck ever you want to do, or more than two parents, whatever. I think at least two parents is needed to raise a child absolutely properly.
Okay. So we of course, you know us, and we always tie some things either to movies or TV, sports or video games or whatever. In my head, I'm looking in the future and I see the Matrix where it's like a field of these little embryos growing in like these little glass jars. Is that a possibility as a result of that?
It's totally a slippery slope that could happen. It could go that direction, but I'm a very ideal kind of person where I see the sunshine and colors and how good things can be. I have a lot of sympathy for what women have to go through, especially when it comes to having a child, because so many women get stuck with the child.
Right.
It's like the thing that just makes my blood boil is when people are imposing their religion or their philosophy on a woman who has no idea who these people are. Right? They're basically saying you need to have that child, but they're not going to pay for it. They're not going to pay the child support. They're not going to be there to take care of the child when the woman's trying to go back to school and fix her life because she didn't have proper upbringing. She's trying to adjust all that now.
That's true.
It's like just because she's pregnant doesn't necessarily mean it's her fault. There are certain influences that happen because she just wasn't raised right. That's society for you. You know, you get your good eggs and your bad eggs. And she realized somewhere along the way that she wants to lead a good life. But now politicians are telling her, no, you can't. You need to stay fucked up and raise that child. Even though they're not going to put a goddamn dime in to support that child.
That's true. And heaven forbid if the family is poor, then...
Exactly.
Then
So now you've
really
got this reject child who's going to grow up and turn to what? A life of crime and further the statistics of minorities who are committing crimes. And it's like, it's not necessarily that kid's fault. Yes, they're making choices, but they're making choices based on their environment and their need to survive like any of us. So, what's your bad thing? I'm sorry.
No,
what's your bad thing?
No, man, that was you was going in. My bad thing is a little bit more lighthearted, but I still feel very vehemently about it. My bad thing are GoPro cameras.
What's wrong with GoPro cameras?
I see them everywhere. Everywhere. The only thing worse than the GoPro camera are the Selfie-Sticks, which is essentially another version
awesome.
of the damn GoPro camera.
Dude, those are so cool.
Yeah, I know you've got a Selfie-Stick.
My Facebook photo is us with the selfie stick, and you love that fucking photo. You cherish it, and you put it on your wall.
Look, it is a dope photo, okay? But see, there's certain times and settings where the selfie stick just looks fucking retarded. Okay, there's sometimes you shouldn't bring it out if you're at like having a beautiful dinner with your loved one and you're all tucked out and there's a nice spread and then all of a sudden, selfie stick time! Bring out the selfie stick. It looks retarded, but see, okay, I'm not gonna get the selfie stick because that's a whole different thing. Yeah. The GoPro cameras, I see them everywhere. I see them with kids or with motorcycle people. They got them on their helmets.
I see.
People that run marathons.
I'm an advocate for the motorcycle helmet thing, man, because you know the bikers always end up getting hit and. They need some kind of evidence to support their case when someone just totally plows into them. First off, I'm anti-motorcycle. Let me say that up front. I'm very, very vehemently anti-motorcycle because it's like, just take a look at the fucking statistics for 1 minute and you'll see why you should not have a motorcycle. It's fucking retarded. It's fucking stupid. Stop riding a motorcycle and get yourself killed. A friend of mine got killed on a motorcycle. And it's like, see, if you weren't riding a motorcycle, you might have been okay, but whatever. So, but if you're gonna do something stupid like that, at least have some kind of legal evidence to support your case. Right. I think having a GoPro camera on your dashboard is a good way to let the cop know I wasn't fucking doing what you're claiming I did, bitch.
Yeah, but see, most people that have these GoPro devices are doing it for vanity reasons. They want everybody to be like, hey, cool, let's step into the life of what it's like to be me day to day. You're not that fucking important. Yeah. It annoys me that self-importance is the same annoyance that I have when I'm going to a restaurant with somebody and they're like, well, I have to make sure that I can see the door. when you're sitting down having a restaurant. You ever seen people that have to choose the seat where they have to look at the door? And yeah, and I know you're one of them. And my thing is, get over your fucking self. You're not Tony fucking Soprano. You're not Malcolm X. Nobody's gonna come in here, guns blazing, looking for you, and like you're the only one that's got a clue on how to find the exit.
It's not that. It's not that, man.
No.
It's that movies end up influencing your psyche, and even the news influences your psyche, where you might be that 0.01%. In the restaurant that ends up getting held hostage. It's like you don't
stand
know
a better chance of winning the lottery than being caught in a hostage situation.
Not if you live in Flint, Michigan. Not if you live in the South Central Los Angeles, goddammit. Anything can happen anywhere, anytime. I remember paranoia. Remember that topic?
Yeah, but remember I was telling you about you're turning into that fucking squirrel and that deer in the middle of Serengeti.
Well, goddammit, I wear that like a fucking badge of honor then.
You can't live life like that.
I'm doing just fine. Thank you very much, sir.
But let's go all the way back to what we were talking about with these fucking GoPro cameras, man.
Okay.
There has to be a time where you have to say, enough is enough. We're not that interested in your life. For me to sit there and watch you run an entire fucking marathon? No.
Right.
No.
That is ridiculous.
That's insane.
That's ridiculous. I mean, who's going to watch that shit? Nobody. Nobody's going to. I think that what you're getting at is a much larger issue at heart, which is not the GoPro, but just the abundance of photos and videos that we're taking of everybody, including ourselves. It's like no one is going to watch this shit. We just have this massive amount of digital information that's just piling up like hoarders. We're digital hoarders.
Yeah, you hit the nail right on the head. Yeah. That is exactly what it is.
And so it's like I try to delete photos. This I'm going to admit some shit. Like I try to go through my history of photos and videos and just delete stuff I know I'm never going to watch again. But I'm like, well, what if like 10 years from now I wanted to see that clip? How do I know that's not going to happen? And so I end up not deleting anything, and I just end up buying bigger hard drives. I
think there's a reason biologically why we forget things. I think there's a biological reason as far as it's
a survival mechanism.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's a survival mechanism because it gives you the capacity to move forward.
Right.
And we're bypassing what we're biologically supposed to do. We're bypassing the fact that you're supposed to let shit go.
Right.
You know, when I was a kid and I got dumped by a girl that I really, really liked, it sucked and it hurt and it took forever to get over it comparatively.
Yeah.
Okay. But now it's a lot different now. Have you ever gone through a loss now within the past 10 years in the digital age? With Facebook around, with Twitter around, with the photos that you take around, with videos.
It's hard.
There's a need for you to go back and kind of re-walk through previous steps. It's like this weird thing that we kind of go through. And most people be like, nah, I don't do it. Most people will take a step through memory lane at least once or twice. Yeah. The smart ones delete it immediately. But there's not a lot of people that have that strength. Yeah, you too. You're the one talking about, no, not me. Yes, you. Because if you even have a Facebook account, you do it.
I wouldn't call that.
You do it because there's not a reason for having a timeline if you don't go through it from time to time.
I wouldn't call it smart or stupid. I would call it strength or lack thereof.
But
I think that's a very discernible difference because it's like I think there's a lot of smart people who can't help but keep all that stuff.
No, I'm saying that you can't help it. It's a need to go back. I do it. I've had some breakups that were kind of rough.
Yeah.
You know, and then you go back and you're like, oh man, I remember this time.
Yeah.
And you feel nostalgic about it, whatever.
Yeah.
But nostalgia, if nostalgia was that important, we would be hardwired differently in order to remember it.
Right.
It serves no purpose in the growth and development of us as a species. That's why we don't have it. That's why we don't remember every fucking thing.
Right.
There's a biological reason for that.
Right.
And we're bypassing it.
Right. Yeah. I can't argue too much about that. I mean, you're right. I'm going to keep all those photos and videos, though.
I mean, so am I. I've got thousands and thousands of photographs of my son because I love him. But I'm just saying, but when it comes to certain things, I think the importance of forgetting has an importance because you cherish the person while they're there a little bit more.
Right. There's a certain abuse going on with this. And what I've learned to do is with Chloe and Faye and everybody in general is I just try to take a photo every now and then, and that's it. That's the photo I go to and say, that's the person I loved. Because I'm not trying to take 10 photos a day, every single day, to remember every waking moment, because then you're not living the moment out.
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
And people are constantly snap. I'm like, just fucking live the fucking moment and enjoy it for what it is. It will pass soon, and you're too preoccupied trying to document it.
Yeah.
I agree with you to a degree because I'm gonna keep all that shit.
I agree to a degree.
Anyway.
No.
Okay, so what was my good thing again? I forgot. It was drive. We went on for a long time on that.
Hell did I know.
And
And my good thing was losing.
And then my bad thing was forced births in the birth giving process.
And my bad thing was GoPro cameras.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. If you guys made it to this point, you are fucking awesome. Most likely it's Denmark and Sweden and Ireland who made it this far. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please come back again. Please subscribe. And if you're from another country or another state, whatever, and you made it this fucking far, comment below and let us know that you're still here. You're still with us to the end.
We still love you.